Hey guys, I'm back again with a brand new video for you all, and from today Ultra League starts, so let's talk about the best cores that we can use for the Ultra League in the new season. It means this season we'll be talking about 10 best cores and its possible core breakers and its possible best partners. So without any further ado, let's start the video. So the core number one that we're going to be talking about is going to be Registeel and Pangoro. Now these two would be such an amazing core if they didn't share common weakness, that is fighting, like Machamps and other stuff like being Steel and Dark, both weak against fighting, right? And also Registeel weak against fire, being Steel, and Pangoro being also fighting, also weak against Talonflame, because Talonflame is also flyer, right? So these two are going to be its core breakers, Talonflame and Machamp, and the best partner for this team is going to be Tentacool and Tapu Fini. Well, you can run other best partners to counter its core breakers, but this is a really good core. Let's talk about Pangoro. It's going to be very weak against Fairy, and Registeel being Steel, going to be very good against those fairies, and Pangoro being fighter, weak against flyers, Registeel taking good care of those flyers, except Talonflame. It's such a wonderful core. You guys can try this core. So let's move on to another core. It's going to be core number 2, A-Slash and Giratina. A-Slash is one of my favorite for the Ultra League from the very beginning, since when the A-Slash came into the meta. Now these two are just amazing, and Giratina never out of meta, right? Never out of meta. Obviously, like core breakers are going to be Pangoro and Greninja. Pangoro being dark, Giratina being ghost. Pangoro can beat its ghost typing, and Pangoro being fighting can beat A-Slash, its steel and ice typing, and Greninja has the ability to beat both Giratina and Sandslash as well. That is why I put Pangoro and Greninja in the core breaker section there for this core. Now Giratina being weak to fairy types, yes, so Sandslash is great answer against fairy. Sandslash being weak against fires and fighters. Giratina is great answer against fires and fighters, except that Pangoro, right? And yeah, Clefable can be its best partner, and Tentacool also. Both Clefable and Tentacool can handle its core breakers like Pangoro and Greninja. You can also try something like Registeel, but if you try Registeel, then it would be a lot of teamwork to beat Pangoro teams. So yeah, that is why the best partner is going to be Clefable and Tentacool. So yeah, moving on to another core, it's going to be core number 3. Core number 3, Virizion and Feraligatr. My guys, Virizion is just amazing, and it's day 1. Today I saw a lot of Virizions, a lot of Virizion teams in the Open Ultra League, and it's like you need a hard counter for Virizion to beat Virizion, or else it's gonna be so hard. Even like with Golisopod, it was like so hard. They were using Stone Edge, and yep. So core breaker can be Golisopod and Tentacool. Both has the ability to beat Feraligatr and Virizion. Now Tentacool against Feraligatr is 2 shield game. Tentacool wins, but Shadow Feraligatr just going for those crunch, and if you shield like one Hydro Cannon, then if they go for crunch in 2 shields, Shadow Feraligatr might be able to win Tentacool in 2 shields, but normal Feraligatr, so even in 2 shields, loses against Tentacool. So that is why I put Tentacool in the core breaker section there. And Golisopod has the ability to beat both Virizion and Feraligatr, the alligator. And best partner is definitely going to be Ampharos, because both the core breakers are water, and you can also run Registeel that has the ability to beat its core breakers. Now Virizion is like weak against fire, Feraligatr is water, right? So that's how this core goes. And Feraligatr is weak against Ampharos and electric types. Virizion is grass and can do good, right? That's how this goes. So talking about Pidgeot, people are running Pidgeot with Ghost, so that can also be core breaker. I have not kept there because Feraligatr is not straight loss, because it can always land one Ice Beam and just spam those Hydro Cannons, right? And if you find Feraligatr in the lead with your Pidgeot in the lead with your Feraligatr, it's not the end of the world. You can only the fast move is resisted, right? So that is why best partner can be Registeel and Ampharos to take care of those Pidgeots as well. So moving on to another core, it's going to be core number 4, Talonflame plus Malamar or Guzzlord. Now, Talonflame plus Guzzlord, let's talk about that. That's a very good core. Guzzlord being weak against fighting, being dark, and fairies being dragon. So, fairy and fighting both can be beaten by Talonflame because it's fire and flying. That's such a wonderful core, right? And Talonflame is weak against waters like Feraligatr. Guzzlord can take very good care of those waters. Also resisting Shadow Claws from Feraligatr, and it can only throw the Ice Beam, right, against Guzzlord. Guzzlord can beat Feraligatr, Talonflame's counter. So these two are such a wonderful core. And again, Talonflame plus Malamar is also a very good core. Malamar also being dark, weak against those fairies, and Talonflame can take care of those, right? So that's how this core will go. And Core Breaker is obviously going to be Tapu Fini, which has the ability to beat all three, Guzzlord, Malamar, and Talonflame. And in this core, we can put Licky as a safe swap. Like for example, you are leading Talonflame and you see Tapu Fini in the lead, you can safe swap into your Licky. Now, safe swap doesn't mean that your safe swap needs to win the opposing lead. It's not like that. You just safe swap and find the ways to beat the team. That's how it's gonna go. This core is definitely also going to be really strong. Moving on to another core, it's going to be core number 5, Mandibuzz and Registeel Classic, my all-time favorite core. And now, talking about just the composition. Mandibuzz dark, weak against fairies. Registeel steel, good against fairies. Registeel is weak against fighting. Mandibuzz can take good care of those fightings, and in 2 shields it can also beat those Stone Age Machamps, those close combat Pangoros, right? Mandibuzz. So yeah, the Core Breaker is like going to be Skeledirge. In 2 shield, Mandibuzz actually loses against Skeledirge. And in 2 shields, Mandibuzz loses against Talonflame, and Mandibuzz also and Cobalion also has the ability to win Mandibuzz, and all 3 Pokemons, Skeledirge, Talonflame, Cobalion, can beat Registeel. So these are the core breakers of this core. So the best partners to beat all the core breakers can be Giratina, Tapu Fini, Tentacruel, and Greninja. Now Greninja will beat Skeledirge and Talonflame, but will lose against Cobalion. If we put Greninja, then we'll have some we need a lot of teamwork against Cobalion. Yeah, but Tentacruel and Cobalion also the same thing. Cobalion has the ability to beat Tentacruel. It's all about landing that Scald and Stone Age from both these Pokemons, right? So yeah, the best cores can be Tapu Fini and Giratina. And yep, this core is very amazing. We can also run Ampharos or Galvantula. Yes, Ampharos and Galvantula. Again, that way we'll need a lot of teamwork there. But yeah, this core is Mandibuzz Registeel core is amazing. Core number 5. And moving on to another core, it's going to be core number 6, Ampharos and Talonflame. Now, initially, like 5 or 6 seasons ago, it was like Ampharos and Charizard, my best core for the Ultra League for all time, right? Wing Attack, when Wing Attack was newly buffed, that was the season. Ampharos and Charizard, I used to run Poliwrath with it, right? And then I used to run Skeledirge, maybe. Oh no, okay, I used to run Talonflame. Then this was a really good core, and I still used to run Poliwrath with this core. And later I started using Tapu Fini, right? So that's how it's going to be. And okay, Core Breaker, Feraligatr, and okay, so this is a little bit of mistake there. I'm sorry. This should be here. I think Tapu Fini should be down here, and Giratina should be up, and Pangoro, yes, Feraligatr and Swampert. Okay, so this is the right. So this is the I'm sorry for that, guys. Yeah, now this is it. Okay, so core breakers are going to be Swampert and Giratina. Obviously, Swampert ground can beat Ampharos, and same typing of Swampert can beat other Pokemons can beat Ampharos as well, and Giratina can beat both Ampharos and Talonflame. Now, Giratina and Ampharos is a little bit different with Shadow Ampharos. If your Shadow Ampharos has just 1 or 2 volt switch before Giratina, then you can just go for brutal swings and win Giratina in shields, right? That's how it's gonna go. But it's a core breaker, can beat Talonflame and Ampharos both. And best partner is going to be Tapu Fini. We can beat Swampert and Giratina both. Pangoro also the same, and Feraligatr also the same. That's how this core 6 is going to work. I put the wrong thing there in core breakers and best partners there. And moving on to another core, Greninja and Skeledirge. Now Greninja being weak against fighting and fairy and electricity. Skeledirge can take good care of fighting and fairy, but neutral against electricity, right? So core breakers are going to be Golisopod, Tentacruel, and Ampharos. And Greninja can take good care of a lot of Skeledirge's weaknesses like Giratina, right? Like Feraligatrs, right? So this is a very good core, and the best partners are going to be Giratina to take care of all 3 core breakers. With Ampharos, gonna be a little difficult, and also Golisopod, just the fast moves are gonna do some trouble, but Giratina can handle that with its bulk. And Licky can like win against Tentacruel in shields and against Ampharos and Golisopod, all 3. And you can also put Ampharos itself as the best partner. If you put Giratina in this team, then you can run Skeledirge in the lead, and then Giratina and Greninja at the back, like fire and both weak against fairy at the back. And yep, that's how you're gonna go. And Licky, if you run, then don't run it in lead, run it in like safe swap. And if you run Ampharos in this team, then you can run Skeledirge in the lead again, or you can also run Ampharos in the lead. That's how this team is going to go. This core is going to go. Moving on to another core, it's going to be core number 8, Guzzlord and Tentacruel. Now Guzzlord being dark and dragon, being weak to fairy and fighters. Tentacruel can handle both fairy and fighters, right? And Tentacruel being weak against those dragons and like other dragons. Guzzlord can handle those pretty well, and that is why Dragon Breath Giratina can be the core breaker here, and Registeel also can be the core breaker. It has the ability to beat both Guzzlord and Tentacruel, and same goes with Alolan Sandslash, right? So best partner can be Pangoro, who can beat all 3, Greninja, who can beat all 3, Skeledirge, who can beat all 3, but Giratina can beat Skeledirge, and Registeel can beat Greninja if it is slightly ahead on energy into shields. That's how it's gonna go. This core is also very interesting and amazing core. I've used it quite a few times. Moving on to another one. Core number 9 is gonna be Shadow Dragonite and Feraligatr. Now Shadow Dragonite, like obviously weak against those steels, right? Weak against those fairies, and Feraligatr is going to be very good core with it, but the core breakers are going to be Alolan Ninetales. Now Alolan Ninetales, you might say how it's gonna beat Feraligatr. It's obviously gonna beat Dragonite, right? But Alolan Ninetales into shield with charm. Alolan Ninetales with charm is going to beat Feraligatr in if both the Pokemons, even if both the Pokemons use both the shields, Alolan Ninetales is gonna win Feraligatr. So that is why it's gonna be core breaker there. Registeel can beat both of them, and Tapu Fini can beat both of them. And best partner is going to be Skeledirge, Talonflame, Registeel. Now if you put Skeledirge and Talonflame, then it's going to be a little trouble against Tapu Fini and need a lot of teamwork. But you are resisting the water guns from your Shadow Dragonite, and if you guys might have seen a lot of Shadow Dragonites actually stay against Tapu Fini lead, and plus Tapu Fini these days with that Surf nerf would be a lot less. Even if they won't use in lead, most of them maybe. And yep, Registeel, you can also run Registeel itself. Registeel can take good care of all 3 of its core breakers. You gotta watch out for Registeel, obviously. And that's how this core is going to go. Now moving on to another core, it's going to be Clefable and Golisopod. Now this core is very interesting in terms of the weaknesses it share, because both can be beaten by Registeel and Licky, but both have so much of play in this Ultra League meta. Like look at the rise of the meta like Pangoros and Machamps. Clefable can take good care of that, right? And it's been like 2 seasons for Alligator is in rise, and Golisopod can actually take good care of that. And also the fighters in the rise. Now the dark poison types. The dark poison types are gonna be a little trouble for Clefable, but Golisopod can actually beat them. So I haven't put them in the core breaker section, that is why. And the poisons like Tentacruel. Tentacruel and Golisopod is a neutral scenario. In shield, Tentacruel might have slight advantage, but Golisopod can do some neutral good damage, right? Not good damage, fine damage, and take the damage. I mean, what's Tentacruel gonna throw, right? Scald, Blizzard, it's water. So that is why I would put Core Breaker in Core Breaker section. Now, Licky being the rollout user obviously beats Bog and can beat Clefable in 2 shields actually. Registeel can beat both of them. That is the best partner should be Pangoro, Giratina, Registeel, and Skeledirge. Now, Pangoro can beat both its core breakers, but Giratina cannot. And if you put Giratina, it's gonna need a lot of teamwork, but you can run it, you can use it, right? And plus, Licky and Clefable is not a straight loss for Clefable, right? And you can also run Registeel, can beat both the core breakers, and you can also run Skeledirge. So Skeledirge, with those, you have to watch out for Shadow Ball, but can tank a lot of super effective Rock Slide, though it's gonna be fire. That's gonna be the fast move from Licky. So that's how it's gonna go. But you can run Pangoro. Pangoro could be the best. And yep, that is it, guys. Those were the best words that we can use for the Open Ultra League. And I hope you like this content. And if you like the content, then please do subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. Leave a like and comment. Thank you so much, guys.